A warm welcome to everyone joining us today. This is the Wellness Junction, and today we are beginning our wellness webinar. Uh, as we have decided that every time we are going to have a discussion on certain health issues, and we are going to invite certain expert guests on certain topics. Today's topic is a very pressing issue. It is a highly relevant issue, and it has been coming in mainstream media for quite some time. So we decided that it is important that we uh, discuss about this in detail, and because we are into the wellness industry. It is our responsibility to discuss about this and invite you're an expert in this. So the topic for today is breaking the silence, ending the stigma around student suicides. Okay, and our guest speaker is Miss Komal Rawal, and she is joining us. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. And ask, before we begin, before I start asking questions to Miss Komal Rawal, let me give a brief introduction about Miss Rawal here. She has a bachelor's degree in forensic science. She has a master's degree in clinical psychology, and she has been working in various fields like career counseling, developmental psychology, and teaching. And she has found her passion in uh, as an unconventional psychologist and mental health practitioner. Apart from that, she is also an author. Okay, that's really, I mean, nice to know that a psychologist is also an author, an entrepreneur, okay, like us, okay, a parenting coach, and an explorer. So that's a unique combination. And welcome, ma'am, to our webinar once again.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the warm introduction and for having me here. And it's a pleasure to be here today, as always. And I always look forward to such events where, we all together contribute to the mental health awareness and, to conduct such things for the awareness. And I feel now it's high time that something which is related to the mental health concerns should come up in form of awareness because people are not aware you know why the people are going through such things. So it's really a great initiative from your end as well, and
Okay.
all the very best for whatever you are doing. And I really feel this has to be successful because this is a need of an hour.
Yeah. Thank you a lot, madam. Uh, before we, uh, Before I start asking specifics about this subject, like about this topic on students' suicides, I would like to. We have done a little bit of research before we planned this, so we went through a lot of statistics and many newspaper articles. So let me give certain tidbits on what is the scenario as of now. According to the Accidental Deaths and Suicides in India report 2022, and this is by National Crime Records Bureau, Government of India. So this is not this is the Government of India. Uh, Student suicides in India was 13,044. And Kota, Rajasthan. Now, Kota, Rajasthan is quite popular. Like anybody who is preparing for examinations, competitive examinations, they are aware of this place, Kota. Many students preparing for competitive examinations like IIT JEE and NEET, IIT JEE and NEET, they reported 29 suicides last year. This is 2023. They reported 29 suicides last year, and this year already two suicides have already happened. Now that's an alarming situation. And I remember myself, because I'm an engineering graduate, I myself had gone with my father. I remember by the end of uh, your 11th standard in pre-university, I had gone to Kota. I had taken the admission test. I did not clear. That's a separate thing, but I did take the examination. Uh, and I remember so many students like participating in that examination. So I can relate to this issue, because the kind of pressure and stress that students go through in Kota is something which I am very much aware of. But then the student suicides uh, is not ending there. even after joining the medical college, after joining the institution, the college like medical college or IITs, 122 students in medical colleges committed suicide. 50 students have already committed suicide in suicides in IIT. So this is an alarming situation. So we have to start a dialogue, and we have taken that initiative. So the first question which I would like to ask Komal madam is, what are the common mental health problems faced by these students? Like when it comes to your understanding, your technical understanding
Yeah.
of the different mental health issues.
All right. So, since I was also a developmental coach when I was working in the previous company, so they were also conducting. It was one of the reputed company where they were. It was basically a coaching center where they were providing the coaching for the NEET and the JEE mains and advance. So we used to cater the students who were going through the stuff. So majorly when I used to encounter the students, they were mostly dealing with the depression. So depression is something which is very common, and depression is not something, I would say loneliness and depression is very different when it comes to the categorization. Depression is it's more towards the clinical part. Loneliness is something that, okay, after a point of time you might get cured. Okay, once you will get a proper kind of a therapy or a counseling, it might get cured. But when it's get into the depression stage, it's very difficult, and they need a proper the professional help rather than dealing it by themselves. Because nowadays it's like you do not you don't know where you are lying. If it is in the loneliness, okay, you can cope up. However, when it comes to the depression, it's a sign. So there are certain signs which helps us in understanding what is depression and stuff. So mostly the students who are appearing for any of the competitive exams, irrespective for the science stream or any other, depression, anxiety is something which is there, and then insomnia and stress. These four things which you will generally observe in any of the students who are appearing for the competitive exams, not even only the competitive exams, but the other students also who are not even appearing for it. So yeah, so this four are the majorly found mental health concerns which you will see in the students.
Okay, yeah, I understand, but I don't know how many of y'all I mean know this, but I'll share us my personal experience. I did not I did not visit a psychologist or a psychiatrist before joining the engineering college, but by the end of engineering college, it was so stressful that I had to attend and visit a psychology session by the end of my engineering college in Bangalore. So I understand that. Then my next question to you is, what are the primary stressors for students preparing for competitive examination?
Yeah. So the stresses, I would be saying, okay, since you are also one of the student appearing for the competitive exams, were appearing for the competitive exams, and you might have also encountered certain things. I would give you the answer, but before that, like, what were you feeling when you were encountering such scenarios, and why were you stressed out? What
See,
were the
first of all,
factors from your end?
I was actually a biology student and I wanted to become a medical thing. But then I had some issues at that point of time. So I shifted my focus from biology to technology. So I then joined an engineering college in Bangalore. But first year was okay, but second year, third year, fourth year, when you have studied so much and the time is so less, and every person is like, people are not wanting to teach you, but they just want to cover the courses.
Correct.
But then when it comes to evaluation, you have to give your best. So my
Absolutely.
performance became very bad, and I had to finally like take go to this Apollo clinic at like in Bangalore, Kormangala. And then I spoke with the person. I even had to go to NIMHANS, National Institute of Mental Health, because I did suffer from clinical depression at that point of time. But then after certain medication, I got like cured. So
Got it. Yeah, so basically it starts with the the expectations from the family. So the major stressors would be expectations from the families. And then once they get into the subject or anything like that, fear of failure, then high academic workload, then intense preparation schedules, financial pressures, which is related to the coaching, educational expenses, all this stuff then come into the picture, and then together it combine, and then the stresses contributes for the other mental health concerns.
Okay, okay. And what are the like support systems that are available? What mental health resources are available to students
Yeah.
preparing for these examinations? There must be some mental health resources that are available to students.
Yes, it is. So basically, what happens is, when they go through, they have the counseling services in the schools and the colleges nowadays. Helplines are also available. Online counseling platforms are available. Workshops and seminars related to the same, which you will be, seeing through the social media platforms. So there are certain, I would say, the government initiatives that they are coming up, which are very helpful. This is something where they are going to get the helpline numbers. They have given the helpline numbers where you can reach out for the help. TS Nimhan CBSE board have also given a specific helpline number so that you can reach out to there. These are the government institutes who are taking the initiatives. Apart from this, there are also the private organization like Your Dost is there, Manasta is there. So all here are the platforms where you can reach out for the help.
Okay, so I think later on when if anybody is wanting the information regarding these institutions or organizations, I will always we can always connect with you. You're after
Sure.
this
Yes,
session.
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And how effective are these resources in addressing the mental health needs of the
Yes,
students?
now it depends actually. So what happened, like there are certain people who are not comfortable sharing their problems when it comes to face to face. So for
Hmm.
them,
True.
it's like, yeah, so they want to keep their identity as an anonymous. So in
Hmm.
such cases, they go for the online counseling where they do not have to bring up their identity. However, now there is always a pros and cons when it comes to the online counseling, because interaction, face to face interaction plays very differently as compared to the online counseling. So for some of them the online counseling is very much effective. For some, it's like face to face counseling is very important. So it depends from person to person.
And what roles do schools, educational institutions, coaching centers, okay, what roles do they play? For example, if let's say in IITs, so many people are uh, committing suicides, the administration should be doing something.
Yeah, so
They
they
should
have the
be.
different, yeah, so they have the different domains, like they have a service, particularly for the students they have the counselors appointed in their organization. Like if you will see, the policy has been passed that every CBSE school or the institutions, the reputed IIT institution or any of the medical institution, they hire one psychologist and the psychiatrist for the health. So you have to reach out to the people. You always, there are many, I mean, uh, before, I would say back 5 years or back 10 years down the line, there was no help regarding it. But eventually, this progress is happening because the people are getting aware of, the institutes are getting aware of. So you will find the help in your own institutes as well. So
Okay.
there are institutes who are conducting the mental health awareness workshops and seminars in their own in their own institutes, in their own schools as well. And then they have this creative and non-judgmental environment where you will find it in your school and the colleges.
Okay, so is it there even in coaching centers? Because schools, colleges are a little bit different. Okay,
Coaching
coaching centers.
centers, no, actually it's not. I would say Akash is something. Akash is there where they are
Mhm.
providing the, the student counselors where they can
Mhm.
reach out for the help. But when it comes to the coaching center, which are not very much popular, they are still struggling to get on board the psychologist. However, the reputed ones or the one who are very much known, they have the counselors on board.
Okay, because during my time, I had taken coaching in Akash because earlier I wanted to become a doctor. But after that, I mean, during my time, Okay,
It
there was
wasn't.
nothing of that sort.
Yeah. Now the Baijus, this Akash, they all are taking an initiative and they are appointing one. You know, I don't know if you all are aware of Narayana group of institutions where all
Yeah,
the
yeah, I am aware of
Chaitanya.
that.
Yeah. So the Narayana also have the counselors on board where they can get the help. So there are institutes, there are coaching centers who are providing the services.
Okay, and how do study routines and preparation strategies affect students' mental health? Students' mental health, yeah.
Yeah. So what happens because they have a lot of pressure to complete the syllabus, and it's not only about completing the syllabus. It's about getting the rank, and you have to. Most of the people when they are appearing, irrespective of the engineering or in terms of the medical or the management entrance exams, they have that in top institutes they have to get in. So completing the syllabus, then competing with other people, all these parts, all this takes into consideration. So in such manner, what happens, they forget to take the to take their self care thing. So in such situations, their intense study routines and the rigorous preparation strategies lead them to burnout stage, lead them to stressful stage and the anxiety. So when this stress, burnout and anxiety gets into the picture, it eventually leads to you won't be able to focus. Now for example, if I say that I have to study for 15 hours, 10 hours down the line every day, but I somewhere is forgetting to take a break, and if I'm not taking that break on the daily basis, I'll get stressed out. One stressing out is the first stage, and then eventually I'll get into the burnout stage. And once the burnout stage comes into the picture, you have the blockage in the mind, and then you won't be able to study further. You will be I would say imbibing the information, you will be studying, but you won't be able to process the information whatever you are studying it. So it's
Correct.
better. So burnout and stress is something that you will eventually, that will happen if you are not taking a proper routine break. So the break is
Okay.
necessary. If you feel today you have not contributed much, it's okay, it's okay to not follow like 8 hours of study or 10 hours of study every day, but then you have to take a break on after an interval of period of time, so that you have your mind gets a space to again come back to the routine, and then by rework on or whatever the study stuff is there. So it's very important to to keep a note on that particular thing.
Okay. But some see what I know, that all students are not the same. Some students are more vulnerable, some students are less vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, so by how can you see the warning signs when you see a particular person, when you see a particular individual, a student? What are the warning signs that you see that this person is greater at risk of suicide? Okay, so this is the kind of intervention that is needed.
Yeah.
So how do you like judge that, or how do you decide that?
So basically, if a normal person has to see the peers around the person who is going through such things, or the family members or the friends, whoever is there, they just need to see whether they have the withdrawal symptoms from friends and family, what were they before, and how the change in behavior is there now after a point of time. Like if child is not, or if a student is not speaking for like 1 day or 2 days, it's fine, but look at the sign or the pattern, are they following same from like 2 weeks? 2 weeks is the minimum period that you should be giving. And if the signs like withdrawal symptoms are there, they are not talking to anyone, they are being lonely, and they do not like to mingle up with the people around them. It's okay to be an introverted person, but is it like that person is only confining to himself or herself, not getting engaged with anyone else? Drastic changes in the mood and behavior, they were very different when they were back then, but now they are acting very differently. Their mood swings are getting fluctuating every now and then, expressing the feeling of hopelessness. Whenever you are talking, they'll feel very they'll talk very I know everything, it's still I feel that I might not get succeed in whatever I am doing it. giving away the possessions, and talking about the debts. So these are the signs that you can find in the people who are going through, or they have the thought of suicide. So suicidal ideations comes into the picture first, and then they try to attempt it. So ideation stage may you can help them to stop wherever they are. And if you feel that something which is very intensely getting into the picture, then that person should get a professional help.
Okay. And what interventions have been shown to be effective?
Yeah, so early intervention and support for the students at risk are available. And if you find that something which is getting into the critical stage, okay, so for example, the self harming behavior is something where you will find, okay, the student has attempted something. Now, this is something which is very risky, right? Talking is different, ideation is different, but then attempting is very different. And if you see that this critical things, self-harming behavior is the major sign that you can see, and if that is the case, then for sure they have to get into the professional help, because at that point of time, they'll not get the help. They'll not get, even if they'll talk to the family or the peers among themselves, they'll still not find the solution to come out of it. So at that point of time, the professional help is very much important. And with that, they also need to have a supportive environment wherever they are. And then the crisis helpline numbers which are available, they can always reach out there.
Okay. And how can their parents, family members, teachers, peers, because these people also have a responsibility
Correct.
uh, to identify at a time before something bad happens.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned before as well, that even if they are taking the counseling help, the professional help, but still, it's not like always they are going to sit with the counselor or the psychologist, right? For an hour or so, they will be sitting, they'll get the counseling, but after that, they have to move on to their own place where they are surrounded by their own people. So it's very much important that the people around them have to be very vigilant for the warning signs that they are getting it. They have to provide all the emotional support from their end, and then encourage the open communication before it should not be like कि अगर वो बच्चा बोल रहा है कि मेरे को बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर आ रहा है, हाँ यार ये तो नॉर्मल है, सबके साथ होता है. So this thing सबके साथ होता है, when they get this thing to
Hmm.
hear,
Yeah.
then they will be like "Ki, okay, I should not speak." So you have to be very open and optimist about when they are coming and talking to them. You have to be very receptive, and active listening is something which is very much important in that point of time. And if you feel ki this is something which is happening, you are talking to the people, counseling help is given, then eventually that mental issue which is there, it will reduce day by day, and then you will see it. And then also, it's very important to eradicate the stigma which is attached to the mental health issue. सिर्फ पागलों के लिए होते हैं psychiatrist and psychologist is
Hmm. Correct.
something
Correct.
which people believe. Weak minded people approach to the psychologist and psychiatrist. No, it's not like that. Even the common people also go through the mental health concerns, and if they feel they should reach out to the psychologist. And yes, and I do believe that people wants to get into the logical explanation. They don't need something which only basis of talk. So please, I really would want to give one thing, give a clarity about the thing, that the psychologists are not only the talking therapy, it's beyond that. It help more than that. They have different kind of techniques that they are using, the psychotherapists that they are using it. And it's not only about the talk therapy. But whenever you are approaching to a psychologist, a will is something which is very important. So that will should be there कि हाँ मुझे चाहिए ये help. It shouldn't be like very much resistive when you are coming for the help.
Okay. Okay. So, thank you a lot for all the clarifications.
Yeah.
Now we'll talk a little bit about uh, certain institutional and policy related questions. Okay.
Yeah.
What policies are currently in place to support the mental health of students preparing for competitive examinations?
Yeah.
Are there any
So
policies?
yeah, please continue.
No, no, please, you please
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is nowadays, because of the mental health concerns which are coming up a lot, the policies are being made by the, the government itself. So if you will go through the NCRT or the CBSE, they have made the policy that every institute should have the one counselor appointed in their organization or in their institute, wherever they are, in any of the educational institutes. Same goes for the institutes for the engineering, postgraduate, undergraduate institutes as well. So they have this mandatory thing where they have hired one counselor or the psychologist for the help. And also, the institutes are conducting on the regular basis the stress management related workshops or the programs, or time management related, anything which is related to the mental health concern topics, where the students are in the need of such topics. The institutes are getting, they are taking the work, they are conducting the workshops. And also they are now, there are certain institutes who has incorporated the mental health education in the in their curriculum, but it's
Okay,
not very much, I would say it's still budding. It's not like
okay.
you will be seen full flourished everywhere. It's still in the budding stage.
So we have a long way to go. It's
Yes.
on the go. Okay. So, and I hope these policies are like resulting in improved mental health
It will,
conditions.
actually it will. However, what happens, government does pass the policies and everything, but when it comes to the institution, there are certain institutions where they just keep it for the sake of keeping it, but they do not
Okay.
actively participate. I have also seen, like I have heard the cases where the IITs, not all the IITians, sorry, IIT institutes, but there are certain IIT institutes where they have the help, but the professors and the teachers are like, this is how the environment of the the IIT, you have to get into the grinding stage, then only you will be. Why these premium institutes are having this much of importance? Because they grind themselves, they grind the students, and then they, get the polished version of anyone. But this does not mean that they should be just cut off with the emotions, right? So they have it, but वो वर्क नहीं करता है, क्योंकि वहाँ के जो सपोर्टिव एनवायरनमेंट है, समटाइम्स दे ऑल्सो आर नॉट, कि भाई दिस इज जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ इट. You are here to study, you are here to do something better. So yeah, so the governments are taking implementations, but from the institute end, there are still the institutes are there where they are not actively encouraging the mental health
So that
issues
means
or
they
the
are trying
concern.
to validate the environment. They are justifying the
Yes.
environment.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like कि हाँ हमने रखा है because the government is saying, but
Uh,
then eventually you have to study. You cannot be like, okay, I'm not feeling like study, or I'm going through certain mental health concerns. There are certain institutes who are not even who don't even feel that mental health exists. So
okay.
this has
Okay.
to be eradicated, or this has
Okay.
to be worked upon.
Okay. So, do you have any successful examples of any successful case study? Like, can you cite any examples of any case study of institutions where this kind of intervention and help support has actually reduced the
Yes.
stress levels and improved? Any examples that you can share?
Yeah, so I would say in DPS, Delhi Public School, before it wasn't there, and once they started implementing these programs and the workshops, the seminars related to the same, and the help that they were giving, after that they have seen a 20% of improvement before and after. All right. So there
Okay.
are certain schools and the institutes. DPS is one of them. NPS is one of them. So they have started implementing, and
National
they have
Public
seen
School.
National Public School,
Yeah.
Delhi Public Schools.
Delhi.
So they have started implementing it, and they have seen a change. Like 20% of change is also a huge amount of change, where back then it wasn't available, and now they are. And now they are actively doing it. So more improvement they'll see. So yes, it's there.
Okay. 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 Now, how can technology be leveraged to provide mental health support? We are living in a world of advanced high tech
Yeah.
society now. So, how can technology help mental health this crisis, okay, that people that we are facing as a society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yes, I agree that technology is playing an important role, and if you are having that, then you should take a help of it. So, if you will see, there are online counseling platforms which are available. You can always reach out to them. Then they conduct the therapy sessions also. But then before that, just check their validity and reliability, because not all the platforms which are very much reliable when it comes to providing the services. So it's
Correct.
important that you check whether the, and you have that right to ask the questions, like from where you have done your to the psychologist also. Even if you are approaching to any of the counseling platforms, just ask like who is the counselor, how many years of experience they have, what kind of experience they have, from where they have passed out. So all this is very important. So be an act. Counseling you will get it anywhere and everywhere, but is it like something which is the authentic one? So get into the authenticity of the platform, and once you get into that, there are online platforms which are available. They will give you the therapy sessions. Like nowadays there are in online, I would say the startups which are there, which are booming, and they are giving the peer counseling, where you know people who are going through the same stuff, they talk among themselves and they try to figure out the solution. So there are a lot of online counseling platforms, therapy sessions available. Mental health apps are also available for mindfulness exercises and the stress management strategies. So you can go through that and you will get the help from there. Virtual support groups and the forums are also available.
Okay.
So
Is
yeah.
there any pro cons? I mean, we know the pros. You have shared the pros. Like any drawbacks that you can share?
Of the online counseling.
Yeah, yeah. The like the
Yeah.
technology leverage.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, that again the privacy is something where it's getting into the pros, right? And you will have an accessibility. Like for example, if someone from the Bangalore wants to connect with me staying back in Delhi or somewhere else, they can, right?
Mm.
And you have a wide range of resources available when it comes to the online pros. But the drawback I would be saying is a lack of personal interaction. So there are certain people who feel comfortable when they have a personal interaction more. So this is the drawback. Then the quality and credibility of the online resources is in the question mark, like whether they'll get that credibility or the quality what they are expecting it. And then the digital always divide the affecting access. I mean, yeah, so these are the drawbacks that I feel are there when it comes to the online counseling.
Okay, no, the like in the internet, there are lots of information there. Now, which information to rely upon and which not to, that becomes difficult, especially for a layman. Uh,
Correct.
so it will be obviously difficult, and obviously people like you are there to help all of us.
Yeah. So the it's important to check the credibility of any platform, whether they have this authenticity or not. Go through the reviews, what they are getting. Get a call. The call First call is important. Ask them the questions. Are you getting satisfied with the questions that they are get whatever they are responding on, and then check it and then go further with it. And if you feel that this is something which is not working out for you, then there are always the other options, like the other platforms which are available. You can approach to them.
Okay, okay. Now, I think a little bit the next question that I will be asking you, a little bit of that is something which you have touched upon, but you can elaborate on that. Uh, of course, there is something called as your mind and the how your mind is working, the physiology of the mind, the psychiatry, the psychology, the psychiatry of the mind. But there is something called as the society and the cultural attitudes which are prevalent in society.
Hmm.
So if a society is giving too much, I mean, emphasis on higher education and giving a lot of pressure, and they are defining success in their own through their own views, okay, or their viewpoint, okay,
Yeah.
and trying to impose, that will have an impact on the child, on the individual.
Yeah.
So
So
how do these cultural attitudes impact students mental health?
Yeah, so what happens basically, like for example, cultural attitudes that equate success with the academic achievement, right? So society always tell that achievement, if you are achieving anything, then no matter what, everything is good. So at that point of time, where the society only looks for the success, that increases the pressure on the student, and once that pressure is building upon to the student, it leads to the stress and the mental health issues. Now once that happens, and also the stigma around the mental health can also, be the factor where that prevent the students from seeking the help. Like for example, if I have to say, the men's mental health is something which I'm more concerned about now. Why this is happening? It's not like they don't need the help. They do need the help, but their coping strategies gets into very different kind of a thing, because they get into the addiction, any form of addiction, and then that is something their coping strategy. They don't come up. Why? Because weak minded people appear for approach to the counselors or the psychologist, right? So this same thing happens for the students as well. When they get, and the society has this stigma कि mental health सिर्फ उनके लिए available है जो लोग पागल है, but that is not something which is true, right?
That is
So this
not true. Correct.
cultural impact which is there, or the societal, I would say, the mindset which is there, that rigidity and that that kind of mindset is something which stops them from seeking help.
Some men, okay, male students, they may be told that you are not manly enough. If you approach a psychologist or a psychiatrist, be a man.
Yes.
That their manhood is questioned at times.
Absolutely, yeah. So mostly, yeah, they do feel, females do come for the help and they seek help out. However, when it comes to the male, they are, I mean, they are wired in such a way from the society itself that you are the provider. You cannot be such a weak person. You have to be very strong. Otherwise, who will take care of the family? Who will be
Correct.
the responsible person, right? So you are the pillar and you have to fulfill the, since basically the provider of the family. So they have a lot of pressure. They cannot turn back and sit and think about their emotional health. And when it comes to that, they try to cope themselves, by talking to the friends. And what kind of friends, they help they are going to get? Maybe two people will sit together and they'll just drink or have smoke or something like that, or in any other form of addiction. So this is a form of coping mechanism that they are using it, but that is not going to help for the long period of time or in the long run. So yeah, awareness is something which is very much important, so that at least they get, psychologists are not someone who are only giving them the, a kind of empathy. It's not only about the empathy, actually they are going to give you the solution. So what happens when a people go through, or the students who are going through such stuff, they don't, that decision making power is something which gets affected, their frontal lobe gets affected. And once that comes into the picture, you don't know, you cannot filter out what is right and what is wrong. At that point of time, to get the clarity, or what to do next if I'm going through certain things, at that point of time, counselors are someone who are going to help you out, or the psychologists are the someone who are going to help you out.
Okay. And now, because we are in social media, everything is social media now. The whole world has become social media. In social media, people just switch on or get into Instagram. They see the flashy lifestyle that
Correct.
their peers are having. Okay, they go to Facebook, they go to LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, so many people are writing so many things. How much is true, how much is not true, people don't know. But then there's a lot of comparison that happens
Correct.
because of social media. Like everything is open now. Okay, so this comparison, how is that like playing in the minds of the people, like the students?
Yeah. So now, what happens, for example, if I see a person in real and if I see a person on social media, it's very different. And nowadays, the first of all, the students or the adolescents age group which is there, they are very fragile. I mean, whatever they see, they want the same thing with themselves to happen, right? and if they see someone is posting something and they are getting the good comments on it, then they want to do the same. So once the comparison start, they see, okay, whatever they feel that whatever information which is provided on the social media is real, right?
Hmm.
And they don't understand so what happens, story would be a very huge, but the social media only post something which catch the attention. So two or three lines they'll put, and then the people will not go back and research whether what is the authenticity of the information. They don't go back and check that. They just believe whatever is there. So once that gets into the picture कि okay ये कुछ तो भी चल रहा है, so at that point कि उनको जो भी whatever they feel कि whatever is there on the social media is real. First of all, it's not real. Social media is actually not the real thing. So they need
Hmm.
to understand that whatever they are posting is, now I'll just give you very small example. On the social media platforms where they have a different kind of, I mean say effects are there, कितने अलग अलग type के effects आ गए हैं, ये effects, this people this girl is looking beautiful, this girl is having that kind of a shape body, this that guy is doing something, huge. But I mean, have you seen 30 seconds mein how can you identify people life? You need to check the nitty gritty of whatever you are doing it, right? So go back
Exactly.
then and then see what's their personal life is saying. So we don't know about the personal life, we just believe whatever is there. So the only thing that, yes, social media does play an important role, but you need to check the authenticity. Because what happens, if I compare myself, I look okay, I'm doing nothing when I compare to myself, and the age group that I am in, the people are achieving this much, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of fame around themselves, and then I start comparing myself. This creates a pressure, this creates a stress, and this also creates a negative self doubt and self concept. This gets into the picture, self esteem starts, low self esteem starts gets into the picture. I'm nothing, I mean, I don't know whether I'll be able to achieve anything in life. The people are speaking so fluently, and what I am doing nothing. So my confidence gets low confidence. So self esteem, self concept is something which gets affected a lot because of the social media. So people need to understand that that's virtual life is not something which is real. It's, I would say, it's a fake life. So you need to
Okay.
understand, go back then and then check the authenticity of any kind of information before believing it. It's not like all the people on the social media platform putting the wrong kind of information, but checking the authenticity, and to dig out and research the information, whatever you are grabbing it. It's important to go back and check from wherever any kind of resources you are imbibing it. So yeah, check,
Okay.
have a check
Okay.
of whatever you are doing it, have a check. And it's okay
Okay.
to be whatever you are, I mean, it's okay. So
Okay.
yeah, this
Thank
is
you.
something which is important.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I think we have had a long discussion on this very important issue. Okay, and hopefully, the initiative that we have taken, we will be, of course, this will be uploaded in our uh, social media handles, and hopefully, what we are basically looking for is that people should start talking about this. It is not at all a stigma. It is nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, we should all take a pledge that whenever we feel upset, whenever we feel depressed, whenever we feel suicidal, okay, we should immediately, without feeling ashamed, we should immediately take professional help, or if not take professional help, we should at least speak with our parents, our near people who are closer to us, our friends,
Absolutely.
family, relatives, and nothing, no stigma, because that's what we want. We want to destigmatize this issue.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And on top of that, it's a transient, because I know the moment when this is from my personal experience, the moment when you're feeling bad, it's a transient phenomenon. Okay, it's a transient. It's during that small moment of time when you're feeling a lot of pain. Okay, and it seems that
Correct.
it cannot be overcome, but once your mood changes, you will feel very happy. So it is that bad mood and time that you have to overcome. Okay.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
so thank you, ma'am, very much for attending and sharing your insights, sharing your knowledge, and we are very grateful to you.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
and
Uh,
thank you the audience also for
yeah,
attending.
yeah. Is there any question from the audience side?
Is there any question from the audience? Okay,
Ashwin,
Ashwin says a great session.
Ashwin, you can introduce and you can ask the questions regarding the mental health issues among the
If you have
students.
any question, Ashwin, you can always ask. You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself
Hello.
and then you can ask any question.
Hello.
Yeah, Ashwin, you are
Yes,
audible.
You are
Ashwin,
audible.
go ahead.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
you are
Ashwin.
audible.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, my name is Ashwin. I am from Kerala, and I am also an engineering student, third year. So the thing is that, yeah, it's actually can be relatable. This type of incidents and lot of pressure in academics and issues like that. Yeah, so it's a wonderful, great section for me also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ashwin. Anyone else?
Yeah, then Ashik, you can sum up and wind up the session. Just
Okay, okay,
fine.
fine. Okay, thank you audience for this and for attending, and thank you Komal ma'am. Okay, this entire this session will be uploaded on our social media handles. Okay, you can find us at YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook also. And you can also connect with Miss Komal Raval. She is also in LinkedIn, and if you want to connect with ma'am, you can always connect with me. So let us end it here and stay tuned for more wellness webinars from the Wellness Junction. Hopefully, we will invite Komal madam once again. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a
Bye.
nice.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.